I know when I have people bring up alternatives to me, I talk through the risks, and people often don't understand the risks in these things, but I always remember this line they said from back in the days where, those gold rushes, that a gold mine is a hole in the ground with a liar on top. I always just think, with any alternatives, is this a hole in the ground with a liar on top selling something to me?
Massively. And look, these things are always around, and we're seeing that right now with gold and silver, right? So there's a whole lot of excitement over gold and silver. But it's, as the saying goes, when everybody in the street starts talking about an investment, it's typically far too late to be trying to get in there right at that time. We've seen it over the years with crypto, and we've had highs and lows of crypto over the years. So we see this time and time again. And for me, I want to ignore all of that noise. I'm not interested in worrying about any of that. I just want to have investments where I can go to sleep at night and not worry about waking up and finding that my broker has run away with the money, or something suddenly crashed because it was so overvalued and was a bubble in the first place. And for me, that's really been the lesson that I've learned, somewhat the hard way, but I'm quite happy now putting my head on the pillow each night and going to sleep, not worrying too much about, what the share market's going to do tomorrow.
Being able to sleep at night is probably the most important thing in your investments. It's better to have a lower return and not go to bed and have night sweats. What are things over time that you feel have actually reduced your money stress? What have you done that, obviously some of those alternative investments have increased money stress, but in the long run you've had some success now? What's lowered your money stress?
Yeah, I know it's a strange answer, right? But not living paycheck to paycheck and actually having money is a major reason not to be too stressed out. So, I look at my relationship now with my wife and with my family and my kids, and even my friends and extended family. Life now is far easier than what it used to be because money is no longer such a stress for us. And we spend more today than we did years ago because we allowed ourselves to get into that position. But for so many years, particularly when I was first married to my wife, we just had our third child, life had suddenly started to get quite expensive, and we found ourselves constantly bickering about money. And there was a feeling from my side that there was never enough, and I guess from my wife's side as well, she wanted more things that we didn't have the money for, and so this would create friction. Oh, we need a new fridge. Well, we don't have money for that fridge. Well, we need the fridge now. Well, I'll have to go and work harder and work overtime. Oh, but I don't want you to go and work overtime. These sort of discussions that you would have, and I say discussions loosely in some way, right? Once you get to a situation where you get on top of this stuff, and that's one of the great things about the FIRE movement and chasing financial independence, is that you don't have to wait until you're financially independent to have this level of freedom of money. This comes from the very first 10% of the journey, just to get yourself into a position where you're not living paycheck to paycheck, when you're not in a situation when you're running out of money in your bank account each month and you're worrying about making sure you've got enough money to pay the mortgage and the bills. Even getting to that situation is a huge accomplishment, and you're already ahead of 90% of society. I often find it strange, like in Ireland, it's typically you're paid at the end of the month, and you'll often hear like the very well-off radio DJ on the radio complaining that, yay, it's payday today. So everybody seems to be in this cycle of not having enough money. So if we can get on top of that, immediately that makes a huge difference. Even having a small savings buffer of say 5 or 10,000 euros makes a difference, so that when that fridge does break down, your conversation with your wife is, oh, that's okay, we've got a rainy day fund to cover that. And that changes everything. So to answer your question about stress of money and stress is a massive thing. And it was always something which I identified my own stress levels with.